Hi, for those who don't know me, my name is Marissa and I go by Jasmyn on all social media platforms. So I've been sitting with this for a while, trying to figure out how to explain why I started creating content. Not the polished version, not the algorithm friendly version, the real one. I didn't start because I felt confident. I didn't start because I had a plan. I started because I needed somewhere safe to tell my truth. There was a point in my life where everything felt heavy, where I felt like I was losing myself in silence. I didn't know how to explain what I was going through, especially to the people around me. I just knew I was tired of pretending I was okay. So I started talking online. Not to be seen, but to breathe. First, it felt strange, showing up without knowing who was listening, without knowing if anyone would understand. But something about speaking without being interrupted, without having to defend my past, felt freeing. And that's when I realized this wasn't just content. This was survival. When I say survival, I don't mean it in a dramatic way. I mean the quiet kind. The kind where you wake up, do what you have to do, and still feel like you're drowning inside. There were days I felt like I was failing at everything. As a woman, as a mother, as a human being. And the hardest part was carrying the guilt. Knowing people had expectations of me, while I was barely holding myself together. I was trying to heal, but I didn't even know what healing was supposed to look like for me. So instead of pretending I had answers, I started sharing where I was. Some days that looked like strength, some days it looked like confusion, and some days it was just me showing up and saying, today is heavy. And I didn't realize it at the time, but being honest online was teaching me how to be honest with myself. At first, I didn't expect anyone to care. I really didn't. I thought I was just talking into the void, posting and moving on with my day. But slowly, messages started coming in. People saying, I thought I was the only one. I needed this today. You put words into something I couldn't explain. And that shook me. Because for so long I thought my past disqualified me from being heard. But instead, it became the bridge. That's when my mindset shifted. I realized I didn't need to be perfect to be impactful. I didn't need to wait until I was fully healed to speak. I just needed to be real. And that scared me. Because being real means being seen. Seen in your growth, seen in your flaws, seen in your becoming. There were moments where I wanted to disappear again. Moments I questioned if I was oversharing. Moments I worried people would judge me before they understood me. But every time I thought about quitting, I remembered why I started. I didn't start this to impress anyone. I started because silence almost broke me. And somewhere along the way, content creation stopped feeling like a hobby. It became a mirror. A reminder of who I used to be and who I refuse to go back to. I won't lie. Fear was always there. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind that sits in your chest and whispers, who do you think you are? I worried people would only see my past, that they defined me by my mistakes instead of my growth. I worried about being misunderstood, about saying too much and saying the wrong thing. Some days I'd record a video and delete it before posting. Other days I'd post it and avoid my phone after. just in case the world decided to remind me of who I used to be. But healing doesn't happen in hiding, and neither does purpose. So there was a moment I had to make a decision: either let fear silence me or let honesty lead. So I choose honesty, even when my voice shook, even when I didn't have anything figured out, even when I felt exposed, because I realized something important. The people who judge you were never meant to walk this journey with you. And the people who stay, they're the ones who see your heart. Content creation taught me that growth is uncomfortable, that being seen will stretch you, that choosing truth over image will cost you some people, but it will also bring you closer to the ones who truly get it. And that trade-off, it's worth it. Every time I show up now, I remind myself this isn't about perfection. It's about consistency, about choosing to keep going even when it's hard. Because someone out there is watching quietly, listening closely, and finding places of themselves in my story. And if my honesty helps even one person to feel less alone, then showing up scared is still worth it. So I create content now, not because I have all the answers, but because I remember what it felt like to have none. I show up because this keeps me accountable. It reminds me how far I've come. It reminds me that healing doesn't have to be loud to be real. I create for the version of me that didn't think she'd make it this far. And for the people out there who are still in that in-between space, trying, hurting, and growing quietly. And if you're watching this and you feel seen, that means this was meant for you. And if you're walking your own healing journey, just know you don't have to rush it, you don't have to explain it, and you don't have to be perfect. Just keep showing up. So no, I didn't start this for attention. I started it for the truth, for growth, for connection. And if you choose to stay here with me, thank you. I'll keep showing up, honestly, quietly, and consistently. We'll grow from here together.